Welcome to the Little White Lie Digital Network with Caren Glasser. The Little White Lie is all about the lies we tell ourselves about getting older and how to love the age you are in. Hello, everyone. Caren Glasser here. I am so happy that you're here today. If you're here on replay, make sure that you let us know you're here on replay because the conversation will continue forever and ever and ever. And if you're here today that you're here live, that's great too. Make sure you push that share button and share it out to all your friends, and let's bring in tons of people into the show. And as I do every single week, it's time for the reveal. I'm just going to go ahead and drop my head down for a second.
Yay.
Yay is right. It's great. It's awesome. So before we get going on this, I want to put the website up because if you haven't already gone over there, we have the launch of the Little White Lie digital magazine coming out in October. Go on over to the site and put your email in there because you'll get the premiere issue sent to you automagically right into your email box. So I'd love for you to do that. And when you're commenting and sharing this out there, make sure you use the hashtag Little White Lie so that we can find you wherever you are. I'm looking for you. So today the question is, how can valuing your authenticity enhance every aspect of your life? Well, we have a special treat for you today. Our guest is Tara Shannon. She is an American supermodel. Really, honest to goodness, she's an American supermodel and women's empowerment spokesperson in the fashion industry for 45 years. I'm sure you have seen her, and I'm going to go and have you Google her because I'm sure you've seen her on the covers of Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Elle, Town & Country, and she has appeared in campaigns such as Calvin Klein, Valentino, Chanel, Gucci, and Clairol, which we should talk about that. I think that whole Clairol thing there. She's also appeared as an expert on a wide range of talk shows such as Oprah, CBS News, Good Morning America, and her writings have appeared in the New York Times, the Annenberg Space and Photography, and More magazine, just to name a few. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in my pal, Tara Shannon. Hello there. How are you today?
Hello there. I am very happy to be here, and I'm just so impressed with you. You're so good and natural on camera. I'm just fixated on watching you. Man, you're good.
You know what, Tara? That is such a compliment coming from you because you have lived on camera, and really, thank you. We'll have to talk about that later because I try and I really love what I do, and maybe that's how it comes across. Maybe because I really love what I do. So we like to start the show by asking our visitors and our special guests, what is your little white lie? So take it away. What is your little white lie, Tara?
Well, my little white lie about aging is that it would not be as fun and wonderful as my youth, and it's actually better.
Oh my gosh, that's great. How about you guys? Okay, so you guys are listening right now. What do you think about that? Did you think that as we got older, we were not going to have as much fun? It wasn't going to be as great. And like Tara, she discovered it's even better. Tell us in the comments and we will put them up. We've got Susan Jacobs who just said impressive. Very, very nice. So let's jump right into the question right now. How can valuing your authenticity actually enhance every aspect of your life? What would you say about that?
Well, I would say that it is one of the gifts of being older, that we understand that there's more to value than just what people think of us. And one of the platforms that I work with a lot of the younger women that I coach is that self-hatred is a case of mistaken identity. That we inherit these beliefs that aren't even ours, and that they're so externalized. And that's what's so interesting about being older, that the more we value what our likes are, our wants are, what our needs are, then the more peace-filled that we are, because we're not in reaction to other people's truth being an attack on us.
Right. That's so true. I'm going to put some comments up because I think what you said really struck a chord in terms of what we thought growing up and what we actually experience as we get older. Susan says, to be honest, that thought never occurred to me, but I have to say now I'm fearless in more ways than ever before. Go, Susan. And Nancy says, I feel more comfortable in my skin as I get older. I so agree. So let's talk about how the actual action of valuing our authenticity. How can we actually do that? What would you suggest?
Well, I think one thing is, like Susan was saying, I mean, I love it. It's such a literal metaphor. I'm feeling more comfortable in my skin. That literally where we are having a deeper awareness of what our interior world is. That, when I work with a lot of traumatized people, the one of the fastest way out of shame is knowing that, your soul is untouched by the human experience, and it's filled to the brim with enough.
Yeah.
Right? So
absolutely.
Yeah, learning how to focus within in ways that delight you. If it's reading, if it's just, God, you know what? Just girls getting in touch with what makes them happy, not serving people, but really moving in and finding and having, what the first thing is? Permission. Having permission. Create, play.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I want to ask you a question. When we were talking last week and talking about the show, and I want to let everyone know you are actually, you're an amazing coach and you work with a lot of women, but you have also re-entered the modeling environment.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this last week, and we were talking as it related to my hair, and you made a comment that I thought was so interesting. But I think it goes to this movement, this whole little white lie movement. You said, well, why don't you just say it about the models that they're hiring?
Yeah, the women that work the most are silver-haired models. My girlfriend Gillian, who I met modeling here in LA, she's silver hair. She just finished Italian Vogue. She's in everything because her beautiful silver hair. I envy your silver hair. I'm not all white yet. That's one of the issues when I went to see about turning silver. They're like, right. Yeah, you're not silver enough to go silver.
You're not silver. But how amazing is this? Susan says, oh my God, I love you, Tara. Permission to let yourself meet and get to know you, the person you are now. And Kat says, love me some permission. I mean, what you're talking about is so important, whether we're young or old. And, the Little White Lie movement is not just for women our age, and we are about the same age. It's not just about women our age. It's whatever age you're in, giving ourselves permission to love the age that we're in. So, we're seeing the comments that are coming in. What would be my first step if I were coming to you as a client and you're going to coach me and I'm just struggling here. I'm just really struggling. How do you start out with a client? What would you suggest to someone who is just starting out trying to figure out how to give themselves permission to love what they're doing?
Right. Well, usually one of the first things you have to do is create the awareness of an internal consciousness. That's a big thing. So we start externally and then it gets really funny. And that's where first you have permission, then you have play. So the first thing you do is you go outward and you go ahead and you judge and you control and you see how everybody should do all these things and you write a list and then we go through it, turning it around. So you think they should do what? Turn it around, and then how can you do it? And then it gets, oh my gosh, it gets hilarious because you start laughing when you see that, how much everybody else should be doing all these things and then turning around into your own. And that, and that helps take the shame off.
Right. That's really important what you're saying. And that's putting ourselves in the position of being on the other side. And how does that reframe what our mindset is? Permission is everything. Open big doors. Look at this. I mean, people are just coming with some amazing comments. I'm just putting some of these up. Lynn said, I love having permission. Changes everything. So you really are an advocate of giving ourselves permission, basically to do anything and everything we want, of course, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody and it's for the good, right?
Yeah, and one of the first things is permission to hate yourself, because everyone does it.
Yeah.
I hate myself for hating myself. It's like, good, right. You got to meet it with permission and play, like, yep. And we call it 10, 2, and 4. Like, remember Dr. Pepper, 10, 2, and 4?
Oh, yeah.
Right. At 10 o'clock, I hate myself. At 2 o'clock, I'm in love with everyone and myself. At 4 o'clock, you're going to drive me crazy. At 6 o'clock, oh my goodness, I'm just so at peace. And it just does that. So you have permission to, like, I'm in, I'm out. I'm in, I'm out, I'm in.
So our viewers, as you're watching this, whether on live or replay, what are you giving yourself permission to do and to feel and to be that maybe you never actually thought about until you just heard Tara say you need to give yourself permission. Go ahead and put it in the comments, because later on we're going to go back in, Tara and I, we're going to respond, and we're going to have that communication continue and continue. Kat says, oh, walking a mile in others' shoes. Exactly. Exactly. So I know that our viewers are probably wondering, how do they get in touch with you? I'm going to put your website right up here. It's tarashannon.com. And also, I just want to point out that you're doing a lot of different things right now. You're coaching and you're modeling, and you also are working at, and we had David Stewart on with us at Ageist, the online magazine with interviews of lots of people our age.
Our age.
Exactly. And I encourage people to go and check that out, because you're very, very involved in that as well. And if you want to go follow Tara on Instagram, you're going to go to @TaraListens. And of course, it's the same thing for Twitter.
And you know what? I would love to give my email address, Tara Shannon.
I'm going to put it on the screen right now because I can. Info at what?
No, info Tara Shannon at gmail.com.
Tara Shannon.
Info Tara
gmail.com. There we go. Info Tara Shannon at gmail.com. So Tara's giving you, oh my gosh, you sure you want to do this? Tara's giving you permission to email her. Yes. Check it out.
Yes. We're a community. You know what? We need to be heard. We need to be held. We need to be listened to. And to know that within ourselves, we are wanted by ourselves. We are welcomed to ourselves. We are loved, and we are absolutely taken care of. To have that, that's the valuing. That's the authenticity.
Totally agree. Mary Jo says, permission frees us from comparing ourselves to others. Absolutely. Right. Susan says, I see so many women, Caren, in their early 50s. I should probably read these before I put them up, but you know, it's a surprise for me too. So not our age at all. My clients who do not know who they are anymore and are lost, too busy, being busy. So it's fabulous to hear Tara say the P word, which is what I do. Put yourself on your own to-do list. Oh, I like that. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. Any last thoughts you'd like to share with our viewers about this whole idea of authenticity and valuing ourselves and allowing that to help us be the best that we can be? Any last thoughts?
Yes, absolutely. Really, acceptance without judging is enlightenment.
Great quote. Great quote. I'm going to have to R&D that, Robin, duplicate that and put it in a blog post or something. I'll give you credit for it though as well. Listen, guys, we know that you have a choice as to how to spend your time, and we are eternally grateful that you chose to spend it with us today. Tara, I am so delighted that you came on with us today. I plan on following you in all the modeling stuff that you're doing, and you know, the articles that you're writing and the coaching that you're doing. I just want to say that you are really an inspiration to me. And I know to so many others. I can't wait to see what's next in your world. And Susan says, good for you, Tara, for standing out in a world that sometimes is so superficial. The world needs more of you. Great show. Thank you all for joining us. We know that you have a choice. Thank you for making that choice to spend it with us today. We'll see you next week on the next episode of The Little White Lie. And don't forget to go to The Little White Lie. One more time, I just want to say it because I want you to sign up over there so that you can get this magazine that's coming out on October 4th. I'm so excited. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much, Tara. We'll see everyone next week. Bye, everyone. Bye.